So one thing I always wonder is, why do African Americans, or you know Africans that became Americans, still vote Democratic? I always wonder that. Like, you see that nothing is happening or nothing changes, and it's like you hope that something does. It's like that Tupac song. I see no changes. I forgot the rest, but yeah, I just wonder, like, how and why do we keep voting Democrat, even though even though we know that nothing is going to happen. It's not like the 1960s where you had guys like John F. K. or Robert F. K. You know what I mean? Or Eisenhower or whatever. No, you guys literally voting for guys like Lyndon B. Johnson, who say they're gonna do something for you, but they end up destroying you. Like Lyndon B. Johnson incentivized black women not having men in the homes to raise kids because he would give them more money. Or you voted for people like Barack Obama, who pledged to do changes for African Americans, but instead what he did was he strengthened the position of, lesbian, gay, bisexual community, and then the whole trans and all that other stuff for 8 years, not for 4 years, 8 years. Then you guys voted for Joe Biden because you hated Trump because you know you were emotional and you didn't think to look into logistics or be logical. A guy that said that if you didn't vote for me, you're not black. A guy that can't even remember what time it is when he just looked at the clock. Like, why? It's like black people don't know their roots. You get what I'm saying? It's like they don't know their roots. It's like they don't know that the Democrats, even in the beginning, I know things change. You know what I mean? But the Democrats in the beginning of the country were, because there was different parties. It was Federalists and other stuff. But Democrats wanted to keep slavery. And the Republican Party, that a lot of people don't even know, were created by African Americans, by freed men. You don't even know that. They were created by freed men. And the purpose of the Republican Party was to destroy the institute of slavery, abolitionists, right? Not the apologists that wanted to eventually get rid of slavery over time. I'm talking about the John Browns, the Nat Turners, the ones that wanted to get rid of slavery right then and there, right now. You talk to somebody and be like, okay, I'll do it later, and then you be like, no, now. Be like, no, I'll get you later. No, no, we're not doing it later. We're getting this done now. That's how it was. And then of course, roles flip and things like that, but the intentions were always changed. The Republicans, they started going more for the white base. The Democrats, you know, for the white base too, but tried to get in black people for that whatchamacallit. You know what I mean? For that what's it called? For that black vote, you know. So I always thought it was funny. The Democrats would I mean, they'll be cool to you, but they'll lie to you. And the Republicans at that time will just be straight up. We don't like you. So I never really understood that. And you don't see any changes for black people either. It's more so of a pick yourself up by the bootstrap kind of mentality now. You know what I mean? And in this case, it's not even just a black issue, it's an American issue as a whole. It's American suffering, but I don't get it. Black people literally have the swinging vote. You know, right now, white people didn't. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? White people are they account for majority of the population in America, but African Americans, have a big voting power too, and you know, it's like if African Americans if they decided to create their own party for themselves, we can literally put the nation on a gridlock. But they don't, which is pretty crazy. Well, I ain't doing it either, so who am I to talk? But you know what I mean? It's just insane how, and I know the Republican Party, or because it's really conservatism. There's so many factors to it. The Republican Party can be like, oh, you're one of those, you're our guy, or you're a real American. But it's like, come on, that Democrats don't really do anything. It's a lot of pandering. Like, that's the only thing that happens is they pander, pander, pander. And then when they get voted into office, they don't do nothing for you. Like, what has Joe Biden done? He hasn't done anything. This, I'm not gonna call him a fool, because I like whatever president we have in office, I always hope that they do the best for the country. But Joe Biden has literally left hundreds of billions of dollars and American citizens in Afghanistan when he pulled out incorrectly. This guy is campaigning on his what? He has like one more year left. His third year, right? He's trying to get student loans to go away when people know that student loans will never go away. And people are complaining about student loans when in fact they're the ones that took the student loan. Now they don't want to pay. So y'all comment. I don't know what to say.